So the Kevin Love situation right now is really heating up with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Of course, very recently we did hear about the fact that reportedly the Brooklyn Nets actually wanted to buy out Kevin Love's contract if they couldn't make a trade for him, a part of the JaVale McGee type of deal and situation. But again, we did know that, recently, about midway through December, it was being reported by a bunch of reporters, for example, Kim Clement, that the Golden State Warriors were very interested in potentially teaming up, Kevin Love and Steph Curry on the Golden State Warriors. Now, where this comes to be very interesting as well is there has been a little bit of talk and rumors going around in the NBA about right now that the Golden State Warriors could also be looking out to try and buy out Kevin Love's contract if the Brooklyn Nets, of course, weren't able to actually do it. Now, again, I think this does make quite a bit of sense for the Brooklyn Nets to go ahead and maybe try and trade for Kevin Love. Again, they do really need that defense, but Kevin Love doesn't really add the defense, but he is another scorer that they can bring to the team, and you get to a point where your offense is possibly going to be too hard to, stop, where defense probably doesn't really matter, anymore. But when it comes to the Golden State Warriors situation, I'm going to be very interested to see how this plays out, because we did, of course, hear more rumors as well that the Golden State Warriors were interested in potentially trading for Andre Drummond, and a trade that I actually put up was Kelly Oubre, Kevin Looney, and a first-round pick for Kevin Love. I think that would make a lot of sense for the Cleveland Cavaliers and would also make a lot of sense for the Golden State Warriors. And it does make me think, though, would the Golden State Warriors consider doing that again, but instead of it being Andre Drummond, it would be Kevin Love? Now, you might say, well, Kevin Love's not worth a first-round pick, and I agree with you. It wouldn't be a first-round pick a part of this deal. In fact, I believe it would just be Kelly Oubre and Kevon Looney for Kevin Love. And why this makes a lot of sense for both teams is, yes, the Golden State Warriors really badly do need another defender and another, scorer for the team, like a second or third option. Kelly Oubre was supposed to be that guy, but his defense has been a little bit off this season. Again, he's only averaging like 11 points per game on terrible efficiency. They could literally flip him, who's on $18 million, and Kevon Looney, who's on $5 million. That equals up to about, again, $23 million. You could flip both of those players for Kevin Love, where you would have to pay an extra $7 million to have him on the roster. But a big advantage from this is that you get Kevin Love to play now, when he's not injured, can play at least 30 to 33 minutes per game, of course, and definitely can average you 18 and 10 per night. So again, considering they don't really have a rebounder, because James Wiseman's only averaging like 6 rebounds a game, he's been pretty bad when it does come to that, Kevin Love will straight away come in and average you about 10 rebounds per game, and can definitely help you out on the offensive boards and even defensive boards for that matter. Not just that, again, he will average about 7 more points per game than what Kelly Oubre can potentially do. He'll need the ball a lot less than what Kelly Oubre can eventually, potentially do. Kevin Love is like a 50 billion time better catch and shoot player than what Kelly Oubre is at this point, considering Kelly Oubre is like 21% from 3. And when Kevin Love, we've seen him play with good playmakers, he can be about 38 to 40% from 3. Especially when he was playing with LeBron. I think one season he was like 41% from 3 in like 2018 or something like that. So, again, when he's got the playmakers, he is absolutely lethal from the 3-point line. So again, he will be great for them if they were to get him. But again, can they buy him out? In my opinion, I don't know if they would be able to do it, because there are a lot of teams that are trying to buy out Kevin Love right now. And the Cavs aren't just going to be like, they're not just going to pick a team to go, hey, you can buy him out. They're going to want to see, well, all of you want to buy him out. That means you're all interested in him. Here, give us a second-round pick or an expiring contract or something like that for him, and then we'll get the deal done. And that's where I think the Golden State Warriors come and play here. They've currently got an $18 million expiring contract in Kelly Oubre, who has been absolutely terrible this season. He's only averaging about 11 points per game on a lot of touches, on, of course, like 21% from 3. And his defense hasn't been great this season as well. Again, Kelly Oubre, who's an expiring contract that has minimal value right now. Kevon Looney, who I don't believe has too much value right now either. would be a pretty good trade, to the Cleveland Cavaliers for Kevin Love. And the Cavs come out of this, pretty decent as well, is because even though Kelly Oubre is having a pretty bad season, there is always a chance that he gets back up to what he previously was. But of course, he wouldn't get back up to it with Golden State at this point. I don't think the Golden State Warriors and Kelly Oubre just don't seem to really fit together. It doesn't seem like it really works at all, and it just doesn't make exactly too much sense to maybe continue this type of relationship. But again, that's why I think the Cavs would be one of those teams where Kelly Oubre would actually really fit on the team, because JB Bickerstaff, the head coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers, has a huge focus on defense, and it's one of his main points that he does look at. And Kelly Oubre, even said himself before that he believes he's one of the best two-way players in the league. And again, if Kelly Oubre can come in and average very, very good defense and get his scoring back up, then again, he will be a success for the Cleveland Cavaliers. But there's no guarantees for Kelly Oubre right now. Right now, he's about 26 years old, I do believe, going to be on an expiring deal. He may want more money than he's actually worth. And again, the situation on the Golden State Warriors, if the Warriors could get a player like Kevin Love, his value and his play, or even a player like Andre Drummond, they're straight away going to go to that situation where they could, bring Kevin Love or someone like that into the team. Not just that, imagine Kevin Love's development he would have on James Wiseman. Look, I've been very critical as Kevin Love as a player for a long time, because I genuinely believe Kevin Love is not as good as a leader as what some people say he is to be. With the way he acted on the court, in the previous season, the Cleveland Cavaliers and all that type of stuff, it just didn't look good. He didn't look like he was a good mentor for these younger players. But in saying that though, the Cavs never had a big man for him to develop. I think Kevin Love would actually be a very great player to develop, help develop James Wiseman as well. He would definitely help James Wiseman improve as a rebounder. He would definitely help James Wiseman improve potentially his jump shot, his mid-range, and just court awareness, where to be as a three-point shooter. Not just that, we have seen Kevin Love in his career play like a bit of a triangle offense, especially with Minnesota. He did run a little bit of the triangle offense where he would back down a player in the post, either go for a mid-range, a turnaround mid-range, or he would kick it out to an open shooter or someone like that. Or he would, again, potentially just either bypass and go for an easy layup. Kevin Love has definitely the capability to still do that in his career, and still do that even though at his older age. And not just that, with a player like James Wiseman, who has a pretty decent mid-range, who could eventually develop his three-point shot. Imagine if Kevin Love teaches him, a triangle offense type of situation. That would be a very, very good thing for the Golden State Warriors. It would be a very, very interesting thing. And imagine if you had two players like Kevin Love or James Wiseman that can consistently perform a triangle offense, and then if you got shooters around them like Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Damian Lee, Jordan Poole, Kent Bazemore, etc. Jeez, watch out. That would be an absolutely very interesting thing. So again, Kevin Love is an upgrade at pretty much everything that Kelly Oubre does except defensively. He'll be a better leader for a player like James Wiseman. He's a better scorer. He's a better three-point shooter. He's a better mid-range. He knows a better triangle offense type of situation. Again, he needs less touches than what Kelly Oubre does. It's a move that I definitely feel like the Golden State Warriors could do. And as a Cavs fan, I really do hope that we could actually get something out of Kevin Love. I don't want to just see him get bought out, because honestly, I believe if the Cavs could get like Kelly Oubre, out of him, or even a Robert Covington, that would be a huge success, in my opinion, for the Cleveland Cavaliers. So I would very much like to see a situation where this, potentially does happen. But of course, I'd very much like to hear all of your thoughts and opinions on this down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for all the latest NBA news and NBA content. Of course, don't forget to check out my podcast as well if you haven't already. Don't forget to check out my gaming channel, MIRL/Long Channels. Links for them will all be in the description down below. But as I was saying, to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.